Hello, I'm just going to talk a little bit about controllers. Back in the day, my main thing was the mouse and keyboard. When I was playing things like Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, more so, and Warcraft, when I lost my life to that game for a few years. But repetitive strain and all that kind of thing, not particularly great. And the reason why I give up on a lot of the online stuff, as much as I'd really love to play Battlefield 6, is that I was good at Battlefield 3 and I was extremely good at Battlefield 4. I ended up in a clan and everything, and it was a clan that was trying to go semi-professional as such, but it's a bit of a pain. And the kind of thing happened a bit with Warcraft as well, where you kind of have to be there at certain times, you have to meet, you have to have your headset on. It's one of those things that if you get called upon, if you just want to go on for a little bit, but your clan members are on, you couldn't just like do your own thing. It's just like, oh, you're getting constant like invites and got to join up, and it's like in the end I kind of got tired of like having to be dependable and turn up for people and do certain things. And more so when I ended up with jobs which went along the lines of doing some management stuff, where I had work came first as such. You couldn't just drop everything or just have crazy sleep programs where you're having to meet up with people who are on a different time zone, and you're getting no sleep, but then you have to go and run a shop the following day. Not particularly good. So that kind of thing got knocked on the head. Plus, it was one of those things where I want to play games where I've got progression, where I can get to new land, a new continent, a new dungeon, a new planet. Something where I can just be, wowed as such, rather than just like I put all that time in and I've opened up a new gun. Yay. Or I came top out of 30 people. Yay. It's after a while it kind of got old for me. So yeah, and ever since then I've been after the perfect controller, and this might be it. For years, used on the PC side, used the wired controllers. I've used obviously the official ones. I've used some weird third-party ones, which have always been terrible. But this is years ago. And when it went to the whole wireless side of things, went back to the Microsoft ones, which, to be fair, they were fine. Didn't really have a problem with them. But recently, I've been looking to try and find the perfect one. I had the Gamesir. This is the Gamesir G7 Pro, but I've got the Cyclone 2 tucked away. I got that one. Really like the sticks. I liked some of the features about it, but the buttons after a while start getting squeaky, and it was a bit light. It just felt a bit not premium as such. It's a good controller, but it just felt just a little bit off. And then I seen this one being advertised, which, if I remember rightly, it's called the HuBen2. And I will actually mention as well, these things here, these are my thumbsticks, which I've put on. And they're actually quite good. Let's see if I can actually find that packaging for them. If I remember, I'll have to put these on the description. But you get a load of them, you can get them white and black. These ones on here, they're actually concave, which means they go down slightly. So they're not the kind that kind of dig into your thing if you press on them too much. They actually have a bit of a slope down so your thumb can rest in them. These ones here, slightly concave, which means they're raised a little bit. I might give these a whirl, I'm not sure. But the good thing about it is they're all different heights. So if you just want the box standard one, or you want the really high one, and then you've got like a mid-range one, but most of them, this concave one where it actually sticks up, they're the only ones that actually have the dip, and they come in white and black. But I digress. Come back to that. So this one got advertised and ended up going for this one. Comes with your charging dock, which it just sits in there, nice enough. The dongle, which will go into your base unit there. It's sealed up. That thing, and your cable, which is going into there, and that'll go to your PC, and you put that where there's going to be good reception as such. And that's it. You download the app, and off you go. Now, as for use-wise, this one, the reason why I was drawn to that is because of the HD rumble. It's really nice size. It ticks a lot of the right boxes, like weight-wise and everything else. But my issues with this one was this D-pad is crap. I didn't like it. It sounds nice enough, but when I was pressing some of the things when I was playing Days Gone, it was activating the wrong thing. I was pressing stuff and I was like, I never pressed that. And it's the only controller I can remember where I was having issues trying to press left and right and stuff and not hitting other things. Don't know why, but there's something not quite right with that. These buttons are excellent. These are amazing. These are actually better than what the G7 one is. They're really, really good. Sticks, they work really well, but their tension is not right with them. They just feel a little bit too, there's just too much tension in them. It's only slight, but if you use controllers enough, you'll notice it. Decent enough. That's my charger thing. Need to check it out. Not massively impressed with the triggers though. I did find with the triggers that the actual zone where you're pulling down, it seems to be quite high, even though I've altered it in the app. There's something not right there. I have looked online and other people are mentioning this, but the HD rumble thing is really good. It's not quite haptic like the Sony thing, but it's in that kind of direction where it's got more levels to the rumble that it can do compared to more standard ones. And this is magnetic, I can't pull it off, but you can take that off. I don't think there is any other faceplates at the moment, but if some third-party company does them, you can do that. I had a thing with mine, a gripe, where it would just randomly turn off. Just not disconnect, just literally turn off. Even though I set it to never turn off and USBs, changed all the ports, and it doesn't matter. It's the only control I've ever had where it would just randomly do it. Got in touch with them and they were just like, have you tried this, have you tried that? Yeah. And it's really annoying because there's no rhyme or reason to it. It just turned off. And it maybe do it in, say, 2 hours. It might do it once. It didn't do it very often, but it was annoying when it did. So far, this has been solid. I will say, like I say, the buttons are really nice. Not quite as nice as that one. But the actual triggers and stuff are better. These definitely do feel better and more responsive. Again, like the HuBen as well, it's got the locks underneath. We can actually lock the triggers, so they just become mechanical rather than all the way here. You can lock these so they don't work at all. It's got Bluetooth and for your PC. This one's got Bluetooth, PC, and Nintendo Switch, I believe. This is more grippy, whereas this one, for some reason, they want it to go all shiny and slidey. But yeah, these sticks are probably one of the bigger differences. These sticks are really good. I've actually started playing a game which I kind of let it go for a while, wanting to see what happened, which is that Witchfire. Damn, that is such a good game. Literally started playing it this morning and I'm having trouble putting it down. It's Destiny meets Bloodborne. So the gunplay, the powers, you can see where it just literally feels like Destiny reskinned. But the music's good, sound effects good, enemies are good. The enticement of going back in for a little bit more and risking it all. Basically, you have to go into these different islands and castles and stuff. Kill things, you get Witchfire you pick up, if you want to call it like XP points and such. And then it's up to you when you want to leave. And you've got to find a portal to leave. And then hopefully get out in one piece. Now, the longer you stay in there, obviously the more you can make. And at some point you'd have to decide, I don't want to risk being here anymore because if I die here, I drop it. So it's a case of risk and reward. Now, when you're on the surface of these islands, it's not too bad because if you do get killed, you can portal back in and hopefully get to your corpse thing and pick it back up again, try and get out again. But when you start going deeper into like the dungeon parts and other such areas, it becomes a hell of a lot harder to go and pick up whatever you drop. So it becomes more of a thing of like, do you want to gamble? Do you want to keep going or do you want to leave? But the gameplay, the gunplay and all that kind of stuff is excellent. It's really, really good. It's not for the faint-hearted. It starts off quite easy, but there is a few bits where it's just like you end up running for your life. But yeah, really, really good game indeed. Runs excellently as well. But I digress. Now, why I'm mentioning that is because when I was playing with this, I was doing to a certain point or getting so far. And then I was trying to, am I just kind of red pilling myself here, but like believing that things have got better? Am I, just because I've just got it, trying to convince myself that it's been worth it? And because I got a lot further with this, and I was doing a lot better with this. I was literally able to pull off all the headshots and stuff a hell of a lot easier than that one. To the point of where I was stressing out fighting some of the enemies with this one, and this one I was literally nonchalantly going around and just killing them, move on to the next one, going down to a dungeon thing. And it was just a hell of a lot easier to do what I wanted to do with this. And it kind of, unfortunately, it made something go off in my head where I was just like, if I can do that with this controller this well, maybe Battlefield 6 might not be ruled out to use a controller, because it's really, really good. Battery life wise, I think it's got I think it's 1,000 milliamp in it. I think it is. I'm not too sure what's in this one, but I know it's. I think the Cyclone 2. I think people used to band around something like 6 to 8 hours. So I'm guessing this is going to be at least 6 to 8 hours as well. Probably longer because it's a bigger battery than what the Cyclone 2 is. One thing I will mention, I've just got extra buttons now, is the vibration feature on this one. I need to mess about with it some more, but you can set it so that the rumble that you have in the main part, you can also feel in the triggers as well. So if this is meant to be rumbling, you'll feel like a bit of a vibration in. It's not massive, but you can feel a bit of a vibration in there. Now, I believe there's a couple of games where you can set it where the games know about this controller or this feature, and it will vibrate the actual triggers. And I think it was Formula 1, the last one that came out, where somebody was describing where when they were going around the corner and they were accelerating and stuff, and when they were hitting certain points, they could feel it just in the triggers to give you like tension on the road, like the grip and stuff like that. Now, there's 3 different ways you can set it, I believe, and I really need to mess about with it some more. But even without that, the vibration function in this, it's different to that. This is more like different increments of it. But for a standard rumble, it's a hell of a lot better than what Microsoft have got in theirs, and it's a lot better than what the Cyclone 2 did as well. That one, because the controller was light and it felt a little bit flimsy, is that when it rumbled a lot, it took away any kind of premium feel to it, because it felt like it was hanging on to that rumble. Where this one, it feels solidly like it's inside it, and it's not like you can hear the motors as much. It's if you have enough controls, you know what I mean, where you don't want to hear the motor go like spin up, you just want the actual rumble, you don't want the sound of the thing. But the inner workings, and it's kind of restricted more on this one, and it gives it more premium sound and more feel to it. Whereas the Cyclone, it's like it sounded a bit cheap when the rumble was happening a lot. But yeah, I guess in an ideal world, I would take these buttons and have them on there, and I would probably have the HD rumble feature from that in this, and that will be it really. So give me one of them with them 2 features and it's even better still. Yeah, so I highly recommend the G7 Pro. Anyway, so far so good, and I believe it comes with this Game Pass Ultimate as well, which I'm guessing is going to be somewhere in here with the instructions and everything, but I'm not particularly bothered about that. As I say, Witchfire at this moment in time is going to consume any time I do have, and then I will have to leave that alone for Metal Gear Snake Eater, which is going to be coming out not too far away. And then once that's finished, I'll probably go back to Witchfire as well, because I'm not really sure if there's anything else on the horizon just yet. But I'm really impressed by Witchfire, unless I hit a brick wall and I can't get any further in that game, because I believe that once you get to a certain point, it does get ridiculously hard. So we'll have to wait and see. But that game, I will mention, it's on Steam and it's early access, so it's not quite finished. I don't know how much more they're going to add to it, but from what I could Google, because I wanted to see how much I could get for your money's worth, because even though it's cheaper than normal, I wanted to see how long it would roughly take. And most people are saying it's something like about 20 to 30 hours they can get out of the game. Some a little bit less, some of them are getting quite a bit more actually, but you're looking at, say, at least 20 hours. But yeah, loving it so far. Anyway, I'm going to go and play some more.